Do you know that you can move your website online without spending any single amount of money? Well, in this tutorial, I'm going to take you through step-by-step ways of how to host your website online without spending any single amount of money. And we are going to be using a website called Firebase. So the website you can host this website built in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So any project that has a database, for example, project written in PHP cannot be hosted in Firebase. So without further ado, let's get started and let's dive into step-by-step ways of how we can host our website. So first and foremost, let's take a look at the website we are supposed to host. So the website is in local disk D in Firebase, and let me open it. So this is the website we are going to host. It is a simple portfolio website built in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So first and foremost, we are going to go to Firebase and we create a project where we are going to host our website. So if at all you don't have an account, you will sign in or create one. And if at all you have an account, you just go to console and you will be redirected to this dashboard. And now you are going to create a project. So now these are other projects I have already created in Firebase. So if at all it's your first time to use Firebase, we won't be having this project. Actually, you just see this word create a project. So I'm going to click here and I want to name my website portfolio because it is actually a portfolio website. Then I'm going to wait for it to check. Then I'll continue. I will go ahead and continue. So here I'm going to select an account. It is Katoje Karemba. I will then create a project. Then this project may take like 1 minute to create my project. So let me be a bit patient and I watch it creating it. So as it is creating, let me open Firebase because let me open command line because we are going to host our website using command line interface. So let me see if, okay, it is now done creating it. So I'm going to click continue and it's going to open the project I have created. Then I'm going to click to web because we are actually hosting a web project, a website project. So I'm going to click here where I see this word web and this tag. So I'm going to click here. Then here they are going to ask me what is the name of your application, like what is the name of your website you want to host. So I'm going to say the website is called portfolio. And I'm going to check this one. Then I will register. Then first of all, before you host your website or before you try these steps, make sure you have Node.js. I'm going to leave a link to their website in the description. So make sure you download Node.js and install it on your computer. Just download the steps. Even if you have never downloaded, installed the steps are all straightforward. You just click next, then until you install it. So now when you are done installing Node.js, you will come and install Firebase on your computer by clicking here and coming to your command line and paste it. To paste it, you just click your mouse and it will be written on your command line. But I already have Firebase installed, so I'm not going to install it again. But this step takes a bit long, like 5 to 6 minutes. Of course, based on the strength of your network, it can even take 3 minutes. But as I said, I already have it, so I'm not going to install it again. So even this step, the next step, so let me assume I'm done with this one and let me assume you are also done. So I'll just click next. Then even this second step, I'm not going to install it, but if at all, I'm not going to run it because it's all about installing Firebase. So if at all you didn't have Firebase, you have to run this line of code too. So you can have a perfect environment. So I'm going to click next. Then I'm going to log in. So I'm going to log in because you have to specify which email has your project. So I'm going to click it and paste it here. But me, I already have Firebase logged in. So it's going to tell me, it's going just to show me the email that is logged in, and it is Katoje Kalemba. So if at all your email is not logged in, okay, let's just first log out our email so we can see how we can do it. I'm going to just wait Firebase log out to log out my email so we can log in together. So it is done. Okay, it is done logging me out. So I'm going to log in again. So when it runs here, it's going to open my browser. So I'm going to press yes. Make sure I press Y. Y means yes. So because here Y means yes and N means no. So now you want to, they ask you allow Firebase to collect command line interface and emulator suite usage and error reporting information. So I'm going to say yes. I want it to do that. So it's going to open my browser. And then I will choose the account I want to log in with. So the account you have to choose must be the same account or the same email you used when opening a Firebase. Because when you don't choose the same email, because you may be having different emails here, like the way I have it here. I have them. So make sure you choose the email that you used here, because it's the one that have your project you have created. So this is the email I have used. I'm going to click it. Then here I'm going to continue. So now when I go back to command line, you can see it is waiting for me to authenticate, like it is waiting for email to be authenticated. So I'm going to authenticate it here. I'm going to say allow. I'm going to have a success message here if at all the process is successful. So you can see I'm successful. So I'm going to come here and you can see they are saying success logged in as Kato James Karem, as Kato James 248 at gmail.com. So I've already now like linked my command line project to the one I have in Firebase. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to portfolio. Then I'm done with the logging in. So I'm going to initialize. But before you initialize, you can see that here we are in a directory of user, then Katoje Kalemba, which is like the name, the directory of the laptop. So, but now when you see the project you want to host, it is in local disk D in a web folder called Firebase. So I have to change this directory, because before you initialize, you have to be in the same directory of your project, in your project directory. So I'm going to change from local disk C to use as Kado James to local disk D Firebase. So I'm going to put D to change from C to D. Then I'm going to press dir. That one is directory. So like to see everything that is in local disk D. And this is the folder I'm targeting. So I'm going to say CD. CD means I'm changing the directory from one to another. And I want Firebase. I press enter. Now I'm in my Firebase directory, which is actually my project. So then I can initialize. But you see, before I initialize, I have only 3 files here. Now let's see what happens after initializing. So let me paste it here and we see what we have. Okay. So now it's going to ask me, are you ready to proceed? I'm going to say yes. I told you this way means yes and any means no. So the trick is you will always get either Y or N in capital letter. So you put what is in the uppercase. So now in this case, it is Y that is in uppercase. That's why I'm putting Y here. So here it doesn't matter even if you put capital or small, as long as it is what is in the uppercase here. So I'm going to press Y and I say I'm ready. So now here there, I'm going to choose this one, hosting, where I see this word hosting, blah blah GitHub. So I'm going to move. You just press this arrow down up key to move until I choose this one where you see hosting. Then to select it, you press GC space bar, and you will see this ASCII in green. Then it means you have selected this one. So I press enter. Now here they are going to ask me, are you using an existing project or you are just going to create it? For us, we have already created ours and it's called the portfolio. So it means we already have an existing project. So I'm gonna choose this one, existing project, and I press enter. Now here they are going to tell me now where is the project, where is that project you said you already have. I'm going to say okay, the project is called portfolio. So you always use this arrow down or the arrow up to move to where you want it. So I'm going to use arrow down to select portfolio, then I press enter. So now here I'm not going to put anything in public. I'm going to press enter. Then I told you here you choose what is in uppercase. So we see N is in uppercase, N, and now we can see that our Firebase initialization is completed. So now if I come back here, you see before we had only 3 files, we had index, app, and style. Now you can see after successfully initializing, now we have got some like Firebase creates some files and folders in your project folder. So that's why you can be able to see these folders. So now before we deploy, which is our last step, we are going to, you see here we have this public, and in public we have a file called index. So what we are going to do, we are going to copy all of these files that are part of our project, which is app, index, and style. We cut them and we paste them in public. So I have to replace this index HTML by my own index, because this index HTML is actually the file that displays first. So if at all you leave the one Firebase creates, it means you'll be getting something, some content that you didn't write, because it will be having Firebase content. So make sure you always replace, and before you paste here, you have to make sure you have a file in, because you can have like 5 HTML files here. You can have index, you can have maybe about us, contact, but you have to make sure you have a file called index, because this is how Firebase will know that this is the project I'm going to, this is the file I have to display first. This one is like your home page. So make sure you always have index.html. So I have it here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and now deploy. So I'm going to click this one. I'll come and deploy it here. And this is actually our last step. So when it's done deploying, it's going to give us a link. So it's going to give us a link. So let's give it some time. Okay, now here you can see it is still uploading. And now you can see Firebase, it is still deploying. It has to give you a success message here. So let's wait for it. Actually, it has said that deploy complete. So it means our file is now online. So now this is our URL. It is called it is called HTTP portfolio. This here it includes the name of your website. So it is called the portfolio. So I'm going to copy it. It stops here where you see .app. So I'm going to copy it. I come to Firebase and paste it. So we can now be able to see our project. So now we can see our portfolio project online. And congratulations, guys, you have already moved your website on the internet. So you can now share this link to your friends, and they can now see your project already running. So if at all you make any changes, for example, if at all you change this background to blue or to red, you just come back to Firebase and you deploy. You just write this command, this one, Firebase deploy, and the changes will be populated. So congratulations, guys, we have done have successfully deployed our website, and it is now up and running. So this is it for this tutorial, and hope you guys have learned something. So if at all you have any question, leave it in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to help you out. So thank you, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you.